tonight. Now, the Oceano Dunes District is located on the central coast of California and is part of our beautiful California State Park system. We are so very excited to have you here tonight because, drum roll please, we will be debunking some of the animal kingdom's most mysterious animal myths and mysteries. So buckle up. It's going to be an exciting evening. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I'm going to pass you over to my great friend Ben to get us started thinking in the right direction with some park and wildlife trivia. So take it away, Ben.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben. Welcome to the Campfire trivia part of the program tonight. We're going to test your wildlife and trivia knowledge. So the way this will work is I'll read these questions to you from these papers and they'll flash big on the screen as well. I'll give you a few moments to think about the answers and I'll flip over the page to show you the right answer. So first question, what is the largest animal to be ever recorded to have lived on Earth? What do you guys think? Biggest animal?
An elephant?
Oh, good guess. Not an elephant though. What do you guys think? Anything else?
Giraffe.
Giraffe? Oh, those are big too, but not quite as big as the blue whale actually. So blue whale is the biggest animal to ever be recorded to have lived on Earth. Bigger than any dinosaur bones we've ever found. They're living right now, which is pretty amazing. The blue whale. All right, second question. How far can skunks spray their musk? So how far can skunks spray that bad smelling musk? It's kind of a tricky one, a random answer. What do you guys think?
4 feet?
4 feet, even longer than that. Even longer than 8 feet, so it's actually up to 15 feet. Certain skunks can spray their musk up to 15 feet. So be careful if you guys ever see a skunk in the wild. You don't want to get sprayed. All right, third and final question. Are bats mammals, birds, reptiles, or dragons? What do you guys think?
Dragons!
Pretty cool. I wish they were dragons. They're not dragons though. They are mammals, just like us. Even though they fly like dragons, they're mammals. They've evolved wings. Unlike us, we have not evolved wings, but they're mammals who have wings. And we'll be talking more about different concepts of bats and other animals in our main program tonight. So great job, and I'll head back to Sarah.
Oh, you guys are back. Great. Awesome. How did it go with Ben? I want to know, did we do well at trivia? Do we need a chance at redemption? Because if that's so, you are at the right program tonight. So thank you so much, Ben, for the trivia, and we're going to hop in to our program. So welcome, folks, to Wildlife Mythbusters, Fact or Fiction. Again, I am your host, Sarah, and this is a bit of an explanation of how tonight is going to go. So I'll start with some background, and the reason that I chose to run this program with you tonight is because I feel that there are a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings, or rumors about certain animals that exist in our world and here in our park that are untrue. So over time, certain stories have been told by multiple different people and different generations, and some animals have gotten a reputation for things that are not actually true. So I thought it would be fun to play a game of fact or fiction. So welcome to Wildlife Mythbusters, Fact or Fiction. Now some of these statements, I'm going to read 5 of them about 5 different animals. Some of these statements are true or factual, and some are fiction or false. They're not true. So the game we're going to play tonight is all centered around you answering for yourself what you think is true and what you think is false, or what you think is fact and what you think is fiction. So, without further ado, here we go. Number 1, camels store water in their humps. Camels store water in their humps. Do we think this is fact or do we think this is fiction? What do we think? I'll give you a moment here. If you answered fiction, you would be correct. Now, a camel can survive for 7 days without water, but not because they store water in their humps. Their hump is made of fat, and that provides them the same amount of energy as 3 weeks worth of food. Their kidneys and their intestines are the real superheroes because they retain a large amount of water, which is super important for living in a desert climate. So they do not store water in their humps. That is fiction, but it is true that they can retain a ton of water, which is pretty magical. Now, number 2, some of you might recognize the furry friend on the screen here. Maybe some of you have dogs at home. My second statement for you, is it fact or is it fiction? Dogs can only see in black and white. What do we think? Dogs can only see in black and white. Now, is that fact or is that fiction, folks? If you answered fiction again, you would be correct. It has been said that dogs can see in color, but the amount is minimal, so a small amount of color. It has recently been compared to the way that a human who is colorblind sees the world. Dogs have 1.2 million cones in their retina, but humans like us have 6 million. So they can see color just a little bit less than humans, a little bit more muted. So maybe some of you are 2 for 2. Are you ready for our third statement? Now I want to call this our Golden Buzzer special tonight. We have 2 of them, and this is our first. And the reason it's such an important one is because this animal lives here in the park. It's a shark. We have multiple different kinds of shark that exist in our oceans nearby, but I want you to know that sharks do live here. That's why they're our first Golden Buzzer special. So, sharks do not have bones. Our third question, sharks do not have bones. Is that fact or is that fiction? They do not have bones. Now, if some of you incredibly intelligent people answered fact, you would be correct. Sharks have what we call cartilaginous tissue or skeletons made of cartilage that are much lighter than bone. Kind of like the material that your ears and the tip of your nose is made of. A fun fact is that even though they do not have bones, they can still fossilize due to the amount of calcium salts that are deposited to strengthen their skeletal structure. So sharks do not have bones. That one is a fact. All right. Next up is our second Gold Buzzer special, the bat. We have bats that live here in our park. They are very cute, and these are ones that are often misconstrued or misunderstood. So here's one. All bats are blind and suck blood. That's our fourth question for tonight. All bats are blind and suck blood. Now, as you're thinking about that, maybe you think, okay, I've heard the phrase as blind as a bat, and I've seen bats on TV that suck blood, maybe like vampire-esque bats. So all bats are blind and suck blood, fact or fiction? And the answer, folks, would be fiction and fiction. Bats are not blind. They have eyesight that is comparable to that of humans. They use echolocation to catch their prey, so using sound waves to locate things like mosquitoes and other bugs. That's why people often think they're blind, is because they use this echolocation, but of course they can still see. They can see perfectly well, in fact. Also, out of the world's 1 to 1,300 species of bat, only less than 10 are what we call vampire bats, meaning they do suck blood. The rest of the bats eat insects, fruit, nectar, and pollen, which makes them an extremely important part of the world's ecosystem and natural cycle. So bats get a bad reputation for being bloodsuckers, maybe being gross and being blind. Now they can see very well, they're very smart, they use echolocation, which is so cool, and they're really important for eating those pesky insects that exist here in our park. So I actually think that bats are superheroes. All right, next up, hopefully we're doing well, hopefully we're redeeming ourselves from trivia, or we're keeping that winning streak going. But this one is a little tricky, and it's an elephant never forgets. Maybe you've heard this phrase, an elephant never forgets. Is this fact or fiction? And some of you might be upset because this one is a bit tricky, but try your best. Elephants never forget. An elephant never forgets. Is that true, or is that fiction? Is that fact or fiction? Well, if you answered fact, kind of, you would be correct. If you said fact or fiction, you get points for tonight's round. This one's a very tricky one. But never forget is a bit of a strong statement. Elephants forget things from time to time, obviously, just like I do. However, scientists say that elephants do have a wonderful memory. That's why we're giving points for both answers tonight. It has been said that female elephants, called matriarchs of the herd, lead the herd, okay? So it is their job to remember things over time, like where to find the best food and water source, who is their enemy and friend, and then many more things. So scientists think that they live so long because of how well they remember everything. They also have incredibly large brains. An average adult elephant's brain weighs 11 pounds, which is the largest of all land mammals. So that is a fact. And I'm going to put my sources up at the end of the video so you can see where I got this information. But all I want you to take from this, however well we did at trivia and however well we did at these facts or fiction, is that each animal serves a super important purpose, and everything you hear might not be true. So I encourage you to be that citizen scientist and go research those things about animals that live near you, because some of them are a lot cooler than they're made out to be. So thank you so much for joining me tonight at tonight's Campfire show, and we will see you next time here in the beautiful Oceano Dunes District, part of our lovely California State Park system. My name is Sarah, your host for tonight, and I am signing out. I hope to see you next time. For more Campfire programs just like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us at the link below.